You're watching Big Island Television. Time for One-on-One.
Bringing you unique insights through conversations with community leaders, individuals who share inspiring and compelling stories. This is One-on-One.
This skill reflects the deep relationship between the Hawaiian people and the ocean. This is the Hawaiian art of weaving fishnets, or upena, and one of the best we have is Mr. Apo Aquino, our special guest on One-on-One. Aloha, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. How often do you work on fishnets?
Usually in the evenings at home. Mm-hmm. But normally I work on 3 nets at a time.
3 nets at a time?
Yes.
Okay. Where were you born and raised?
I was born here in Kona. My father is from the Philippines. Oh. He came here in the 1920s. But my mom is pure Hawaiian.
Fishing family? You came from a lot of fishing.
Fishing. My Hawaiian side and my father. I have so many good memories of fishing at the Honokahau beach because a lot of Hawaiian people live there. I never was much for pole fishing. I don't know if I didn't have the patience or... Yeah. It's a different process, yeah. Mm-hmm. My uncles were fishermen. Many of the people who lived here were net fishermen. And there was a time when they laid nets because the fish was so abundant. And to catch and be able to feed many people, you use a lay net, And they would lay the net out and you would chase the fish to the net and bring it out,
And so at some point you decided to make your own nets.
I used to watch my dad and my uncles making nets when I was little, but never really paid much attention to that, But when I was old enough to, go and throw my own nets. And then my father saw that I had interest. And so he started to make me, one net. And then, I would watch him make them. And I would want to know, how to do it, right? So I would kind of just grab his tools, and see what I can do. And, you imitate what you see, right? So I was imitating what my dad was doing.
How often do you go out and throw your net?
Well, I try to get away from my wife at least once a week. No, I'm just joking. But no, I try to do it at least once a week. My dad and my uncles, they never really taught me. They just said, sit down, pa'akawaha, and watch. I mean, I do give all of the credit to my ancestors. Mm-hmm. What I was taught was the basics of net making.
Alrighty, so at this point, Apo is going to walk us through the intricate details of how to make his upena.
This piece of upena is made out of hau.
So this is the leaf of the tree?
No, it is the inner bark. You have the outer bark, which is, where we see, but there's an inner bark that's between the woody part of the plant and the outer bark. It's called the cambium layer. You basically peel out the outer bark and you put it in water and it helps separate the inner bark from the outer bark. Yeah. And so right now they're all in strips because you would want to strip it to what size you want,
So you want to select a few strands and build it up into one strand.
Yep. And
so how many single pieces made this one piece?
A lot. Look, this is 3. Right here is 3 strands. And it's probably, 10 inches maybe? And then you want to separate it like so. And then you're going to take all 3 and then you're going to push it and you see how it's all spinning? Mm-hmm. And then when you release this, broke off. And then you just add, if piece breaks off, you just add to it. Like so. And then again push. And then let it go. And it always has to be separated so it'll all get together when you finally let it go,
So you're rolling separately.
Yep. And it's twisting on the reverse, So look. See it? from there, you want to put it on your, I'm going to sew.
So what you just demonstrated was 6 inches. So how many feet do you need?
I'd say 1,000 yards. On a line like this, we have to use a 3-knot series because the mono slips. So you have to have more than just 1 knot. This with the cordage, you only need 1 knot, and it's not gonna come off. Okay, so what I did is this. So I took the plexiglass, took the paw, placed it between the end and this starting, and I'm gonna go through the eye, pull down 1, and then go over and pull down 1. See? And that is pretty snug. Not so much as far as the mono. So then I'm gonna do it again one more time. Go here, a loop, and then a 1/2 inch on the outside. There you go. And then again, 1/2 inch on the outside. And then we've completed 1 maka. Yeah.
So you just made 1 eye with that.
Again. And that's the beauty of it. So I'd like to make a net that's only half of this. The bottom of the net will be made out of this, see? And this is where the fish will get caught. This is where the coral most time is, which would tear this up badly. So that's some idea I want to try to do because it makes sense to me. Part ancient and part modern day, right?
So the plastic you just showed us, that's the size of the eye.
Yes, yes.
Is it 2 inch, 1.5 inches?
Yeah.
The size of the eye depends on the type of fish you're going after.
Yeah. And again, legal size is 2 inches.
Legal?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah. Legal is the size of this eye, which is 2 inch from knot to knot. And if a dealer and officer will come and inspect your net, he will do this. He'll pull knot tight, and then he'll measure. And this one measures 2.5 inches.
Huh. And the reason for that?
A smaller fish will be able to swim through a 3-inch eye, much easier than a 2-inch eye.
Have you seen that happen where the fish just swims right through?
Oh yeah, that day you and I were there, fish swam all through the net because that's a 2.25 inch eye.
What's the name of your tools here?
So the Hawaiian word for the spacer is pa, and so this is called a hi'a, and then a pa. You put your line on the hi'a, so you can put more in here. You could get 200 feet on this, depending on the size of the line. When I started with this was 50 feet of cordage. When you're sewing the net, right, it's just a simple process. Instead of having that whole thing go through, it's just go through, bring it around, and tie your knot. Yeah. So you want to go underneath the paw. Everybody can do this differently, and a lot of people do it different. I do it this way because this is how I was taught. Most of the people who I've been around, they did it this way. See? And then so now we went from the old.
From the old?
Now we're gonna go to the new. We're using monofilament, so you just load up your hi'a, choose whatever size paw you wanna go with. I'm gonna go with the biggest today. So this eye will actually be almost 4 inches, because that's double.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is just cotton line. Okay, just make a loop. I'm gonna tie it on here. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the hi'a. I'm gonna take out, I don't know, about 1 foot. And then I'm gonna go in the loop, like so. Okay. And then I'm gonna put the spacer. That's a 1/2 square knot. Okay.
On the bottom of the,
Yep.
okay.
And then I'm gonna pull it out. Then I'm gonna do my 1/2 inch, 1, 2 and 3 to lock it in place. Yeah.
That's how it does not slip or move.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
That 3. So that's the picot. Now I'm gonna make the
So you're
first
touching,
eye.
yeah, and you're touching the knot you just made.
Yeah, I'm just, yep,
okay,
just
yeah.
holding it in place.
Mm-hmm.
But when I pull it around this paw, it's gonna get tightened up to where this knot is because the other piece is underneath, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And normally, I'll get to that in next, but right now, we're gonna do one eye.
Why did you go up there?
Oh, well, I went up there because I have to make another loop like this, yeah? See this? And this is part of the picot.
Oh,
And so this, I'm gonna do 40 eyes, but I'm just gonna do, right now I'm gonna make 1. So I'm gonna do that.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, pull tight. This is 30-pound test. Okay, I'm gonna go back again. And I don't think I'm past the point of trying to make things perfect because nothing's perfect, yeah. And then so right now,
But you still need to like really pull and lock in
Yep.
every knot though.
yep, yep. And again, I use the weights after the net's ready to be stretched, then I'll stretch it with about 100 pounds of weight.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes I apply more. And so now, after I did that, I see I've created 1 eye.
Oh yeah.
This is 2 eyes,
Oh yeah.
yeah? And I have to make 40 of them. So I'm gonna hold it there. I'll do a 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna go 1, 2,
You're going under.
yeah,
The,
under and through. And under and around, see? So that's 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna make 4. And then again, you're gonna have to, see?
you're weaving it through the white string
Yeah.
for the entire net.
Nope, that's just the picot. Once I finish the picot, I'll be far away from this center.
Okay.
I'll be way down, and I'll show you this next, the piece that I've already gone
Yeah.
farther, yeah. This is just the start. So basically, this net will start with 40 eyes. Oh, there. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Wow.
And this is 4 inches, see? Twice the size of this.
Right. Right.
And this clearly, you can see a small fish will swim right through that
Yes.
easily. But you'll catch the bigger ones. And again, even the bigger ones, you have to make sure you're not catching too many of the big ones. Let them go and
Right.
lay their eggs. And so that is the start of the net. And that's based on 40 eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna complete this circle. And then I'll show you the pomano, yeah. There I go. Okay. So now I have to join the 2 ends. Where I started and then go back to where I started. And you'll see the net now be connected.
Oh, now you're pulling from the bottom.
And I'm going to connect the two ends. So then it becomes basically like a lei connected on both ends. 1, 2, and 3. This is the tedious part of starting a net, but it's necessary. Yeah. See, so now look, watch when I pull out all the eyes.
So it's like
They're
you're
all
laying,
connected.
yeah, you got to lay like a good foundation.
See that? Yep.
A good start. Look at that.
Yep. And so now that, let's say I did 40, this would be 40, but right now it's 4. Okay. So I'm going to use 4 as the example. So when I put what they call a pumana in each of it, I'll increase this, I'll double the amount of eyes. Okay, so the pumana is an extra eye, so I'm going to go inside of this loop here. Yeah. Here. I'm going to tie this up. And for the fishermen who are upena makers, they know what this is and the purpose of it. Where's that? Yeah. Ah, there we go. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I caught an eye there. So again, when you know how to fix this, you just pull this up and watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna untie this and redo it again. So again, when you make a mistake and you know how to be able to correct the mistake, you do. Take it back out. I think what I did is I took another eye, I cut another eye in my sewing. Okay, there we go. Okay, back to square one now. I think. Well, that's what happened to you. Okay, here we go. Back to square one. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this again. Go into this eye. Or more like the loop. Tie here. And I'm just showing you what the pomana is and how it works. Okay, so So I just did the loop back in here. And I'm just gonna make one so I can show you what the purpose of it.
Always 3 times. Huh?
Yeah, always 3. Okay, so now what I made is a pomana, which is a loop, extra eye, and then I'm gonna finish it off here. I'll show you how it works. Okay, so this is a normal eye. All right, so basically when I put the loop, I made another eye here. Okay, so what happens if this loop wasn't there? This would be the eye. See that? And when I put the loop, I made another eye. See, now there's one more.
Oh, there it is.
So if you didn't put the loop in, it would have been one eye like this. Imagine, no, that's one eye right here without this. But when I did the loop here halfway, the distance, and I was able to now make another eye, which is 2. So this 4, in completing all of this and catching each one of these, I'm doubling it. It'll be 8. And that's how your net increases in size. So I'll show it right here, perfect. When you look here, I think I started 40 here. So I came down below and I made another pomana, see? And that doubled that. So from 40, I doubled it and it went to times 2 will be 80. So there's 80 eyes here. When 40, 80, and then I go another 40, and there, see? And that's 40, 80, and another 40 would be 120, yeah? 120. So now this net, when it started at 40, is now at 120 eyes. And that's the only way it's gonna, can you grab that other piece there?
Down here?
Yeah, the bottom, yeah, and we're gonna spread it open on the table. That's the only way it does that. So it went 40, and then it increased to 80. See, because the way it's calculated is that each eye represents how many inches it spans here. Okay, so you have to have more eyes as you increase the size. So it went 40, added another 40.
So this right here is...
Yep, that's the pomana.
Yeah.
And then again, you see how it opens flat?
Right.
Now this is, when you start your net, this is a good way for you to check on your work. Lay it out on the table and see if you have this. If this does not open the way it does, see how much more flexibility it has? It has a lot right now. If it doesn't do this, then, and I did 40, but this line is real stiff, but if you push it flat, it'll open way.
Right.
See how nice and smooth?
Especially when it's weighted down.
Yeah, when it's weighted down.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason of the pomana.
I can see why it takes months to do this. It takes a long time. Yeah.
And you calculating as you go, and then you get to a point where you're this far on your net. And that's 5 feet. See how this is 40 again, and see how open it becomes?
I don't see. Oh, okay. I can see.
See a pomana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see.
And that's what the pomana does. It adds an extra eye to the eye that you have.
Can't you just add an eye to an eye to an eye?
No, you can't. You're taking the eye and you're cutting it in half. So you could have another eye. So you make 2. So that's what the pomana does. The pomana makes that cut. So you're separating that eye. Instead of just 1, you're making it 2. And when you throw it, like you saw the picture, it opened nice and open. And if you don't get enough pomana, your net's gonna go boom, boom. It'll come back on itself.
No kidding. It makes that much of a difference.
Makes that much difference.
Wow.
You have to see it so you can understand it. Yeah. This one's 10 feet tall. This is just the outer part of the net. Then you have to do the inner part, the skirt part. So the fish, when you throw the net on the fish, I'll show you with a real example. The fish will swim through here. See, because the eyes are bigger, and then they'll get caught in here. So these two get connected with the lead line. The ancestors made, so what they did is they used a net like this. They didn't make a skirt, but what they did was when they put the weights on, they took this and they brought it up here on the inside and tied it here. And what did it create?
Oh,
Create a little sack.
like a basket.
All
kind
the
of
way around.
thing. Wow.
You didn't need a skirt. And the fish would swim, hit the net, and end up in here like this little pouch.
A pocket.
So yeah, so it would be like every 2 to 4 eyes, lead inside would be connected, and it would be eventually like that. Like a little sack.
That's pretty Akamai.
And that's, yeah, I think so. And so that's how that was made. And again, this is like a fully made net. I'll put them up on the table. And see, again, the skirt. See, this is the outer part of the net. This is the inner. And the fish swims to this, and they get caught in here, and they swim all the way down to here and usually get caught at the
Oh,
base.
yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
So when you throw the net, it opens like this, yeah? So the fish is in here now swimming, and they'll try to swim out, and they'll get caught up in here, and then they'll just swim in here. So when I make the nets, I make it a little bag loose so that it gives, so they won't want to go back. All my nets is 30 pounds. If I make it out of 20, I may as well make them out of 30.
How do you think you've developed over the years?
Well, at our age, we should use this more. It helps. So it has been therapy, hand-eye coordination. And sometimes I like to stand up and sew. It's a process, but, you have to do the work to get to that, to appreciate this. And
What do you enjoy most about what you do?
making them is great, but using it is better. Going out there and actually fishing. I think a lot about how the past was. We can't live in the past, but we should remember what it was like. But in Hawaii, we don't have too many old folks that tell stories about what was and how things were done. So,
But that's something you do. You share those stories while you're creating the nets as well. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us.
You're welcome.
And I'm just amazed at what you do and how you do and the patience it takes.
Thank you, Lyman.
Special guest Apo Aquino, One-on-One, Big Island Television.
Thanks for watching One-on-One. We'd love to hear your comments and suggestions. We're at admin@bigislandtv.com.